when, she's, I forgot her name,
You ready?
when our Park Mobile person showed.
Oh, right, they are, right.
So this is the parking committee, 326. I have a presentation of sorts from Park Mobile shortly, but we have the immediate question. The immediate issue of what to do about the kiosks at the train station. Do we, sort of, this points to a larger issue that Jennifer raised before we started of, do we do a kind of, well, let's describe what's going on there first.
So, currently, as of Friday, this past Friday, one of the kiosks started leaning and, because it was rusted out, it's our oldest kiosk that sits there, I want to guess at 2014, so we're looking at 10 years old. DPW went down and looked at it. It was all rusted out in the bottom. So the question is, do we want to check with a fabrication, which according to the picture and in my eyes, I don't think a fabricator will be able to do anything to re-secure that one kiosk. Or do we look into getting quotes for a new kiosk? Or the other option is T2 systems that we are currently working with to,
Do the handhelds.
yes, for our enforcement permit software that we are working with to have a data converted over. They also sell the kiosk. Do we want to do it as a whole, you know, and, you know, right now through our 30-minute call today with T2, they have to contact Metric, who is our current vendor for the kiosk. So, and they're not even sure if it, I mean,
Yeah.
did you get that opinion too, that, or, where they're not sure if they're gonna be able to, if they're.
Yeah, it might be tricky,
Yes.
now to have those systems communicate.
Yes.
So,
What do you mean? Oh, if we had two different ones?
right.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
So here's the other thing. If we, since we work with T2 in the handhelds, these two kiosks could be an add-on, correct? We would not have to go through any process really. They would just.
We
add
would
on
just
the
have to
current-
identify the money.
Right, and add it on to the current contract.
Yeah.
Could we-
Also,
Could we see
we'd actually, right.
our
What happened? They got froze again?
We can't hear anything.
Yeah, I think they dropped. Michael,
actually through our 30-minute call that we had today,
Ah, you got it.
I believe, didn't
Ah.
Helen indicate that she was gonna have John reach us out to us about the kiosk? He's the sales.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. Our call was not with sales today,
No.
so we'd have to have another conversation with them about that.
We have to.
Okay, we have Emily Wu here from Park Mobile. Hi, Emily.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
Good. So for the members of the council on this committee, if you could explain what it is that Park Mobile does, because we were, you know, you're not a hardware company, so we're not talking about, you providing kiosks or meters. You are a payment system, software payment system, is that an accurate?
Correct. We're a mobile payment system.
And we use you at the train station here in Hudson.
Currently,
Already.
yes. The zone is 14101, and it's in the Amtrak lot, I believe.
Everybody
Yes.
calls it track lot, by the way, but it's not.
It's,
It's the city lot, but it's
City lot.
near the.
Yeah.
That's why the confusion happened.
yeah, it's officially South Front Street.
Um,
Yeah.
Because Amtrak
Yeah.
actually.
Lot.
The street. So I think the big question, well, describe how your service works. Basically,
Yeah, if you want, I actually can share a quick presentation if
Please.
you guys have yeah, so I can go ahead and share my screen and let me know if you can see it.
yeah,
Great.
Okay, perfect. Let me start the presentation. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of, I'll give you a company overview and then I can dig a little bit deeper into how the app works for on-demand zone parking, which you guys currently have in that lot. And then I can kind of go into the, also like the signage that we already have for the lot. So Park Mobile is ranked number 3 in the App Store, and we have number 1 kind of Google search for mobile payment. And these are kind of like some quick numbers for Park Mobile. We have over 55 million users nationwide. Again, we're ranked number 3 in the navigation category when you type in navigation in like an app store. And we have a lot of penetration in both cities and municipalities, also in a lot of event stadium venues, and as well as universities and airports and such.
Emily, sorry to interrupt. It seems that we are not seeing your progression of slides. We're still on the sort of document view, not the
Oh,
presentation.
really? Oh, okay. No, I appreciate that because I was just under the impression that you guys can see it. Let me stop sharing and then reshare. Maybe that will work.
Yeah.
Okay, are you seeing the transition of slides now?
Yeah, we're at on your numbers screen.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so this is kind of some quick stats for Park Mobile here. And then I can jump into the customer journey and kind of have some screenshots on how the app actually looks like for the end user. So once they download the app, which they can do in their app store, they'll enter in the zone number. So for you guys, they would enter in currently 14101. And then once they enter that zone number, it'll give them the options that is already set to like the parking rates, the duration, and then they would enter in their license number in their profile. And then they would just go to payment. They can pay using their credit card. Also, we work with like, depending on different vendors, we'll work with like PayPal, etc. But essentially they can save their payment method into their profile. So every time they start a session, they can default to that payment method. And then they would confirm if everything looks right, and then they would start the parking session. And once they start the parking session, there's going to be a countdown timer. And once it gets to, in this case, 15 minutes, they'll get a text, or not text message, but they'll get an alert pop up on their phone saying that their parking session is almost up. And some clients will have the option to extend parking for people. So if that town has that option, then they can do that. If not, they will just get an alert and let them know, hey, like you should probably start heading back to your car. And these are kind of some of the other app functions that we have. So we have map views, we have real-time on-demand kind of parking for users to see. And then it's all viewable in the app. And then here they can pay either through our app, they can also, we have a website, so they can log into our website, pay via our website, or they can have the option to text a number and they can facilitate a transaction and get to our mobile site there through the text.
Excuse me a second, do we have all those right now? No.
We don't have the pay by text currently at the Amtrak lot.
Are there surcharges for those various, ways of paying?
So surcharges for text or for which one?
For all of them? I mean, let's say you just have pay by app.
No,
or
so
there-
there's no surcharges on our end, depending on the user. If they don't have like, if they get charged depending on their phone plan for text messages, then that's something that
Oh.
would apply to them, yeah. Yep, and then again, these are the different kind of payment methods that we would accept.
Yeah.
And then this again is kind of like a current footprint. So what's cool about Park Mobile is once they have our app, they can go to any other Park Mobile locations. And so if they're traveling, let's say to California, and they land, they can register their rental car and then into their profile and then also pay through the Park Mobile app for that location. So it's universal and they don't have to re-download an app or anything.
So you said you can also extend the time of your parking. Is that an extra charge or is that just, I mean, is it just for the extra parking or is it a?
Yeah, so it wouldn't be an extra charge per se. It would just be depending on the functionality. So I have to revisit the functionality for the current lot that you guys have, but I believe you guys can extend the parking
we can-
session. So
You can.
they would just choose that option too.
Up to 30 days. We currently,
30 days,
up to 30
Wow.
days, then you can restart.
That's for the Amtrak lot.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Emily, Tracy and Kim are also here. We spoke with you earlier today through email.
hi, yeah.
Hi there. When the council president was speaking of the charges, currently we have a 60-cent transaction fee, and that is put to the user. Is that similar in this case?
If we were to extend it to the other lots or?
For the on-street?
So,
Is-
yeah, so
That's-
right now for the contract, I believe that is the case. Yeah, 60 cents.
So like very.
So that's where they make their money, basically. It would have to be, right? Because they're not gonna,
We collect the full $10
Right,
that we
so they-
charge for 24 hour, and then I guess they collect the 60
Right.
cent per transaction.
Yep, and that's paid by the end user, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now, does Park Mobile work with very different providers of the hardware? Or is it limited to certain providers?
How so? And I guess, how are you envisioning a scenario for the Parker? Yeah.
We have T2 is our, handheld,
Mhm.
enforcement officers. And right now, one of our kiosks down there will obviously works with it because it's called Metric, isn't it?
Metric.
Metric.
Yes, yes.
But
Mhm.
we're also considering new, meter tops that are put out by Duncan.
Okay.
Does it work with that?
So we work with a number of enforcement apps. We do work with T2. So our information would flow into the T2 handheld. So that is something that we already have set up. Once you designate the location and the new zone number, and we set that up on our end, what we would do is we would start flowing that information, like how you guys are getting that information from the meters and the pay stations to the T2 handhelds.
But I'm also worried, concerned about the on-site pay, mode, you know, the kiosk and the, meter. Potentially, let's say it's a digitized meter. Will it work with that?
So for the meter, so if they're paying at the meter, they wouldn't pay again at our Park Mobile app. So it's either or.
Oh,
Yeah.
so we,
So we'd have to have the meter feed into the handheld, or mobile feed into the handheld.
Yeah, yeah.
The payment
So
method.
I would view it as we're just another form of payment collection. So if somebody doesn't want to pay at the meter or walk all the way to the pay station to pay, they want to start a session in their car, and then get those reminders, then they would pay through us. If they want to pay at the meters, they can. So if they pay at the meters, then they don't pay through us. But anytime they pay through us and our app, we would flow that information to the enforcement handhelds,
oh, I see.
just
So
like
they-
how the meters are flowing that information to it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Questions?
Do you have more to your presentation, Emily?
No, I think that was basically it. It's pretty straightforward. So since we already have a contract with you guys, we are already working with you guys. Essentially to expand it, we would just get the information from you guys in terms of where the streets are, the location, and what zone numbers you want to designate those zones to be. And from there, we would just produce the signs and then ship them out to you. Turnaround time for the signs are about a week and a half to 2 weeks for you guys to get them. And then you guys can install them. And once it's installed, users can start using it by entering the zone number like I showed on one of the slides. And it's pretty self-explanatory. I think users, since they are already using it, know how to like navigate it. And again, we're in a lot of different locations already. So a lot of users do already have experience with our app.
Is that? Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to ask one more question. I know that you're working with T2. Do you know if your company is working with T2 hardware that is kiosk oriented?
Yeah, so depending on what model you are, I will, if you give me the specific model, I can double check with our team, but I know a lot of my clients do have the T2s already. So we are integrated in them.
We don't use them yet, but we're considering it.
Oh, you're considering it, yeah. So T2 is one of the providers that we work with hand in hand. There's other ones that we work with as well. A lot of times for hardware, because our code is open source, which means it's very easy for us to integrate with other providers. So even if we're not currently working with them, because our code is open source, it takes very little effort on our end for them to basically ping our system to get our data.
Got it.
Yeah.
Do those signs usually go on the kiosk or near the kiosk, or they go throughout, I mean, the zone? Are there multiples?
Yeah, we have decals on the shelter of the kiosks.
Okay.
And then we have signage, probably a good 20 or so
Yeah.
throughout the parking lot.
All right. So
Yeah, so if
typically,
you look on the slide, the one in the middle is one of our signs that we currently have with you guys. And then the one on the right hand side is like a decal that you can put either on the meters or pay station, yeah.
and how big how many spaces can be in a zone?
How many, sorry, what?
How many spaces can be in a zone?
That's up to you guys to designate, yeah. So some clients, they do it where one whole street, from end of the block to the beginning of the block will be a zone. And then some clients like to have multiple streets in a neighborhood to be a full zone. So it really depends on how you guys want to map it out. But again, those are something that we would just, you would let us know the coordinates of it. Very similar to how you guys sent over that information for us to set up the current lot. Once you know the coordinates and how you guys want to map it out, you just let us know and then we'll set that up with those coordinates and geomap it into our map.
Questions? Anybody online? Council members online? Can't see everybody, but any hands up?
I'm just gonna say, because
Go ahead.
I've used this so often, I mean, I have the app, it's on my
Oh,
phone,
yeah?
and, you know, I could be in the city and they would tell me, hey, you got 15 minutes left, and I could re-up if I couldn't get in time, you know, to get my car out of there. I mean, it was convenient, and since so many people already have this, it might be nice if we just continue.
Great. Is it, right here? Oh, go ahead, Ron.
Yes, I just wanted to see if I understand this correctly, that what we're getting from T2, the services, and what we're getting from Park Mobile could be complementary.
Correct.
Is it possible that one company, one or the other, could do it all?
No, Park Mobile is only the app. They don't do hardware.
It's
Okay, but
software.
I thought are we not getting some software from T2?
That's just for the handheld things that the
Handheld, yeah.
guys use to carry.
Okay. All right, I think I understand it now. I was a little uncertain there.
I understand it's a little confusing to me too.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
To me, T2.
Me too, me too. Okay, Emily, thank you very much.
Awesome. Yeah, let me know if you have any other questions. I think Tracy and Kim have my contact information, but yeah, let me know. Feel free to share that and I can assist and help with anything.
Thanks, Emily.
Thank you.
Emily,
course.
it's Tracy, can I ask a question? Just while we
Yeah,
have
of
you on.
course. Yeah.
So now, the text to pay, is that an option for the train station, the already existing? To add that as an option?
I can double check on that. I think currently right now on the signs, we don't have that. So if we want to go about doing that, actually, no, we do. So on the sign, it says that number. So that number is the text to pay.
Mm.
The
That's-
877-727-5.
Oh, I didn't know you.
Actually, no, that's our support number. I'm sorry. So we
We're
actually
not
don't
offering
have
it.
that option yet, I believe, for you guys. If that's something that you guys want to explore, I can definitely loop in my team and see if that can be done.
Alright.
And if so, we would need to rechange the signs in that lot to show that.
Mm.
Okay.
Great,
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you.
of course. Have a good one, guys.
You too.
So let's get back to, well, that's good. That's something we learned. So the question right now that is more urgent related to all this is, from the kiosk existing at the lot right now. You said it was rust, it's not vandalism,
No,
it's just rust?
no.
Ooh.
Eroded away. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is. Oh, my God.
yeah.
Holy bananas.
But again, we're guessing it's about 10 years old.
Thanks.
Yeah,
One of the originals.
that's like 2009.
Was it? Okay, I was guessing
I
2014.
don't know if
Felt that,
it's
maybe.
ever been replaced.
Yeah.
I'd have to look there.
Let me ask you, is it hazardous? Like, can anyone get hurt with those? With
It
the
was
kiosk?
removed. It was removed on Friday. DPW went and removed it so that nobody would get hurt.
Okay.
Can't show. Show on.
I could add, just share the.
Oh, you got a picture? You can show
Yeah.
that?
Oh, my God.
Tracy, do we purchase these? Do we purchase these or do we rent these?
We purchased.
Is there an option to rent if we're gonna change something down the road?
Because this was such an emergency, we weren't even going to bring this forward tonight until we had conversation today that, you know, we might as well bring the question here to see what everyone wants to do. We have not received any quotes for replacement because I was not, yes, this all happened and, I wasn't sure before I got the picture that if it was something that could be fixed temporarily.
So in my brain, I'm kind of going, okay, so since we have the handhelds from T2. And T2 works with Park Mobile, maybe we just reach out to T2 and see if they can give us a quote. And if it's comparable to some of the other ones, you know, let's not complicate this. And let's not add more, you know, burden financially, like just. Let's, like, that sounds.
And if that's what everybody agrees, the next question is, do we keep the kiosk number 2 that's already down there functioning? Agreed. I mean, I don't see how we can have 2 companies there.
And it'd be very confusing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it'd be confusing for Park Mobile too, if we continued with their software.
So-
They've got 3 different companies, they're,
Right.
you know, like.
So we can reach out to sales tomorrow and get
Get a
a
quote.
quote for two replacement
Yeah,
kiosks.
and should I try to get some of the kiosk quotes? In that, or should we just stick with this since it's compatible, we have them?
They're the next people
Then next
presenting,
people
right?
presenting, right?
So,
T2.
yeah,
Um,
but we should get other ones.
Yeah,
well, this goes back to the same thing that we ran into with the enforcement. This is that good source.
Sourcewell.
Sourcewell, that's what it was, Sourcewell. And we have an existing relationship with them, so it's,
Right,
we don't have to, but do you want to?
well, the big question would be then, if we go ahead, I mean, if we go with kiosks on Lower Warren, as it's incorrectly called, West Warren, Warren, we wouldn't have to be obligated to do T2 all the way. I mean, we might change our mind in the meantime, find something better. Yeah. I mean, I don't
But we
even,
have to purchase them,
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
should be sure.
yeah,
You don't wanna
Yeah.
purchase.
yeah, that's true. So, yeah, so I'll call up, because I have a list, I'll call up some of the other ones and just see what they offer.
And ask if they work with Park Mobile.
Right.
Just to have all.
I mean, we have our existing company I can reach out to as well.
Yeah. Metric.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be the first, yeah, ask them for.
So can I ask a question?
Sure.
So we have one kiosk down there that works?
Yeah,
Okay, so if we had 2, I mean, when we had 2, we were making an X amount of money. So now, can one do the work for, let's just say, a period of 3 months?
Would we lose money if we went with one for,
I don't think you'll lose money.
No, because it's the app
right?
that's important. It's
Right.
not really the kiosk that's important, it's the app. And the only reason I know is because I used to use it all the time.
There are some people who don't like
Yeah,
technology.
yes.
Yeah.
And
true.
they don't
Well,
even
I'm
wanna-
just, yeah, I was thinking if we have if we put a set amount of time, let's just say the next 2 to 3 months, to research a couple of other companies, and you know, it's hard to come up with the best solution when you have a time restriction. So I'm worried that we may rush into something that might not be as good. So I'm just saying, if we have a period of some time, let's just say 3 months, to review a few other companies, then at least we know we did our, you know, our work and towards a diligence.
I think we
can
should,
compare.
I think we should try and figure it out by June, because
Oh, yeah.
honestly,
You don't wanna,
we've got all, you know, there's gonna be hordes of people, you know,
Yeah.
parking down.
I think that's a good time
Does it-
frame.
so, in
Go
the
with
summer?
that.
So that's another thing that I want to discuss as well, the permits down there. But it's a totally different subject than this right now, but it just came in when you asked if we're getting a lot of use. It seems midweek, we are getting a lot of use.
that's good.
It is good. It is good. So, I agree. I don't think we should rush into anything. If T2 is presenting next month, we can have him come in with the quotes at that time
Okay.
to touch base, if that's what everybody agrees with. I think it's John that we've already had contact with, that is our salesperson there. And in the meantime, I can reach out to Metric and have a comparison
Yeah.
quote.
Can we have two presentations in one meeting? That way we can,
Yes, I'll try to
That'd be
get-
great.
I'll try to get a second one. T2 is already set up and I'll try to get a second one.
yeah, that would
That's
be
what.
great.
If we can just like
Yep.
speed this along and so that we can make some decisions. That'd be awesome.
Cool. Do you know any other names off the top of your head? I have a list at home, but I can't, no.
No,
Well, I got it.
for apps
No.
or for
for
kiosks.
hardware, yes. Oh, I guess Duncan would be the,
Duncan, yes, Duncan gave a presentation for the smart meters.
right.
Or did they not?
I don't
I don't remember
recall.
what
We'll
they.
try to get those two. I mean, I'll add Duncan for next meeting. So. Anything else?
I do have one more item that is just coming to my mind as we're sitting here and you're discussing the usage down at the train station. And it is something that we have been tossing back and forth and we really, I don't know if we have an answer at this point, and I think I'm catching Kim off guard as to asking this question. We also sell parking permits for the Amtrak lot. $650 for a 6-month period, $1,000 for a 12-month period.
The little lot.
The reserve, no, the South Front Street lot.
Okay,
The city of Maine,
okay.
yes. So if you have a permit holders park in that reserved spot. So it appears that a lot of people are now taking advantage of the permit. They are purchasing these permits as a first come, first serve. It does not guarantee you a parking spot. So the trend has been the midweek, they are running out of reserve spots. So the permit holders are having to park in the numbered spot to which they are supposed to pay.
Mhm.
They are not. And then they are appealing their parking tickets when they receive one. So, and calling and complaining. So it's at the point now, I have one gentleman that has given me a weekly update as to what his findings are. He
Oh,
thinks we
that's
need
nice.
to add more reserve spots. And then another gentleman today said, or stop selling permits. My question to you, as we're all sitting here, is what would the city prefer us to do?
Stop selling permits.
And what about the renewal, just the renewal, stop selling any new permits?
How many permits are there out there?
We couldn't even, I don't even think we can give you the number.
And how many spaces altogether, do you know?
The problem is, they could come in, they purchase the permits. And we don't know, we don't monitor who's there, when they are coming in, or different things like that. And when you say stop selling permits, I would think that we could still sell the renewals for the current holders, just not any new.
Well, if they can get the app and they can use the app, they can have 30 days there. So why do you need a permit?
Because they just don't, because nobody takes the time. They come last minute, come skidding in, throw the permit in the car and go. A lot of people don't take the time to make the payment, whatever. They're very last minute, a lot of
That's
the.
too bad, you know, then they have to get up and have.
And I think it's just the easier to put it in the car and just go and not have to worry about anything.
No,
But we're not obligated, there's nothing that says that it guarantees them a spot either. And it is part of the application that they
Do
sign.
you know that right from the moment they
But they
sign,
do.
that they're not guaranteed?
And we
Right.
say it.
Yeah.
And we say it, we emphasize it.
But
It's on
it-
websites, on the application, it's everywhere.
It didn't really used to be a problem, but we've had a lot of newer people move to the area and take advantage of the
Yeah.
permits. So there are a lot of new users.
Is it possible to count how many there are?
I keep a spreadsheet of that. I just didn't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I said, this wasn't
Oh.
a conversation that I was thinking about bringing forward, but you talked about the usage and it tends to fill up
I
Tuesday into Wednesday particularly.
Yeah.
But I thought somewhere there was, wording that we were limited to 90, or they were approved for 90 reserved spots. I don't think we're there yet, if I remember. But I think I saw something that said 90 for some
But
reason.
if everybody comes on the same day and you've only got 30 spots.
Right.
For those 90 people, it's a mess. And we're losing money that way.
Well, yeah, because they're not paying and they're
Right.
parking and then they're appealing it.
Yeah.
Right.
But then maybe we want to consider raising the price of the permit. Because if you divide that $1,000 by 365, you get $2 and something. And everybody else pays $10.
Ooh,
So they're getting
I
quite a
think-
deal.
I think
Okay.
one thing, that's Dominic. So I think if what Tracy said is maybe not offer permits, right? And as we move forward to the mobile, I think that's gonna cut into the permits because you can do 30 days, right? So they won't necessarily need a permit for so long, they might need it for 30 days or whatever. So I think once you offer the app, then that might fill in that gap of reducing the permit number.
Dominic, the app is already there.
That's what, okay, so the app is already there. Okay, so, oh, I thought you were trying to.
That's basically what Jennifer was saying. They could do that now.
They can do it right this second. It's the issue is that they get a better deal if they get a permit.
Yeah, but no guarantee spot, so it's, right? So what you're saying is
Right.
you will get a deal, but you might not guarantee that spot.
Then they're parking in a spot that somebody else who's using the app could use, and we're losing money.
Exactly.
So what I'm saying is ixnay on the permits for a while until we figure this out. I don't think we should have them at all for that lot. Sorry, I took the train, 3 days a week for 10 years. I used that lot. I know how it works and you did see people like, burr, like spinning into the lot at 6 AM, because they're gonna miss their train. And that's the
So-
whole issue.
If you do sign up for 30 days, you pay $2.50 a day? What do you know, $10 a day?
$10 plus the 60 cents for transaction.
Yeah.
$300. Wow,
A very good deal to get the permit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean, do we want to sell the permits any longer or just go? Phase them out?
Keep them as long as they're good for now, and then once we get the kiosks up and running, and the other thing I wanted to talk about was signage, because our signage is terrible
down there.
everywhere.
Well, that's true.
I mean, and have it all be consistent, and,
And can we
yeah,
do
we'll
the
table
permits
that
first?
first.
I mean, if this is what the consensus is, that we're gonna stop the permit process, phase them out as they expire, I mean,
That's a
and
big
then,
leap.
I don't know.
What-
Whatever
do
decision's
this.
made,
So if they go to the app, they're basically
Do
gonna.
you want me to show it to you?
No, I'm just trying to do the number, I'm doing the number, 300 a month. Times 12. It's a huge step from $1,000.
Yeah.
Gonna get a lot of pushback on that, that's for sure.
They don't have to do it for
No,
30
no.
days. I
But
mean,
when
they
we
can
raise
pay
it,
every single time they
remember
drive
we
in.
raised it?
has it been since you've been here that they raised,
The 6 month has been raised once. It was
I just remember-
500, went to
yeah.
650, the
I
12
just remember
month.
getting some nasty emails when we raised it the last time.
Well, we raised the rate also. It used to be $5 for 24-hour period.
That's what,
That's where we got a lot of
yeah.
nastiness, yeah.
that's what it was. And the person argued they could save money by driving. Hey, go ahead.
Go for it.
Go for it. Do you think that's a savings? Yeah.
Yeah, the driving's a real
Wow.
hassle. I don't know, maybe we should think about it
So-
and then
So the front lot is already quite congested now. Imagine people trying to find a spot and being, I mean, we're gonna see some fighting going on down there. And
Already.
it's
Really?
just so, yeah, but nobody's
Yeah,
trying to get parking if you have a permit. There's a difference now. Because, you know, if you know there's not gonna be parking there, they're not trying to find the parking. So you're having a lot of people that don't even drive around there for parking. You know what I'm trying to say?
No, I don't understand.
So what I'm trying to say is imagine can you say me?
Yeah,
So trying to, all these drivers that going to the far lot, they're not trying to go to the front lot because they know it's the permit is there, correct?
no, that's not the way it works. The front lot is, there's no permit, you don't have to pay, you don't have to do anything.
Short term.
It's short-term parking, so like if I were going into the city for a day, I could, if I got there at 5 o'clock in the morning, which I did, I could park there, and then at 6 when I came home, I could get my car and leave. The long-term parking is the parking lot that we're talking about.
And
That
the
one has,
permits are on the other one,
and the
Yeah.
long-term
or
parking.
the long term, okay.
Street.
I have a question that the short term, like next to the Amtrak, that's whose property is that? Amtrak or that's Hudson property?
Amtrak.
Okay, so we can do nothing on that then.
Right.
No, yeah. We're only talking about the long-term parking, which is across the
Long-term
street.
parking on the back, yes.
Yeah,
In
Yeah.
that case, we should definitely get rid of the permit because the city will make a lot more money not having it. I mean, that's
I
very clear. is we
I
don't
think so
have
too.
to-
Yeah, I think so too. We should get rid of the permit.
Yeah, plus it's a headache for the city hall dealing with people complaining and everything. It makes no sense. You make more money, so
Well, we're talking about a leap from 1,000 a year to 3,600 a year. Actually,
they don't do it every day, though. They just
Oh.
want, I mean,
Oh,
they're
you're
not
just-
going in every day.
oh, that's.
They're not leaving
Every
their
month now?
cars
Are they
there.
going month?
No, they're not leaving their cars there. Cause what I'm seeing is, you know, they go into work a couple of days a week and then they come home. It's not, they just want the convenience of being able to throw something in the
Got it,
window
yeah.
and get out and run toward the train.
Okay.
Instead of dealing with their app, you know? But you can also do your app on the train, like, you don't have to, as long as you download it, you're fine.
Well, those complaints come in too.
Yeah.
Because they wait 10 minutes, by that time enforcement's already been there and
I think more than 10.
that was 15, wasn't it?
But I'm just saying, by the time they park and then they get on the train and whenever they feel like paying, they start to pay it. But the car is still sitting there.
Is there a possibility in the configuration of how frequently folks have to renew their parking to allow for parking for a weekend, right? And not having to pay for one day and have to extend it another day and continue. Is there
You
a
can,
way to?
yeah, on the app, you can say, okay, I'm gonna be in this section for, I think, you can be like, oh, I'm gonna be here 3 days. Oh, well, your 3 days
can
is
do that
about
right
to
at this-
run out, and they'll tell you
Yeah.
15 minutes beforehand that, hey, ding, 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 you're gonna run out of time,
Yeah.
and then you just re-up it.
You can also do, once you do your initial session, then you can go as many days, up to 30 days.
Yeah.
So say you know you're gonna be there for 3, so you do a couple more days.
But you broke your ankle, and now you have to be there for 30 days, so
Yeah.
you can just keep doing.
In other words, it doesn't,
Let's-
you're not
let's
saying
find
30
out
days.
from- Oh, sorry.
To actually go in,
Right,
so 300 is not really the way to think of it.
no.
Right.
I mean,
Okay.
you could, but
Yeah, you
and some
could.
people
It's
probably leave it
available.
longer
Yes.
than
Right,
other
right.
people. It probably varies.
Okay.
But there's no one
Depends on
down.
your schedule.
Yeah, I think we should hear it from it.
I
Dewan,
think we
did you
should,
want to say something?
like, how many permit we have out there? Then we could talk about it, what we should do.
It was identified in the parking study that there are 270 spaces in that lot. we'd have to come back with the actual numbers of how many permits are utilizing that lot regularly, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing we need to figure out first.
Then
And
give
the
them the bad
other
news.
thing is, yeah, and the other thing is if we want to cancel if we want to stop the permit system, we have to wait till the end of the year, so starting 2025, right? We don't have.
No.
People don't begin at
12-month
different
period,
times.
it's not, it doesn't run,
So
yeah.
we would just phase it out. So
Yeah.
whoever has a permit now can have it until it runs out, and then we just don't renew them.
They didn't renew on January, in other
Yeah.
words.
Okay.
That's, cool.
I'm definitely at the front.
Oh, yeah.
Permits.
Yeah.
But, you know,
But you know what, my
I
experience,
understand better. I
my
don't think it's so bad.
they're not City of Hudson residents.
Well, that's definitely true.
They're not.
That's what happened when I got the complaints about the rate going up. Not a single one of them was from somebody in Hudson. So of course I told them to just go screw, no.
Yeah.
No. But yeah,
Make more sense. I mean, if they're not Hudson citizen, so definitely we shouldn't give them permit. But
No, you want it.
parking, you know?
yeah,
There's
definitely.
probably a write-off if they're doing business, somewhere, there's probably a write-off anyway, and they're being.
Yeah.
Their business is
Some of
gonna
them,
pay
yeah.
for it anyway.
That's right, Rooney.
That's Dominic,
Yeah.
but that's good.
You're done.
Oh, sorry, Dominic. I misrecognized your voice.
Okay, well, I guess that's it.
Okay.
We'll need will we need a resolution to,
So I was just looking to see quickly if it was in the code.
it is,
No, I didn't confirm it.
okay. So we'll figure that out before the next meeting, whether we need a resolution to
I.
phase out parking permits. Well, that's an accomplishment.
Yeah. Something.
And then next week, next month, T2, and, one other,
Maybe one other,
yeah, definitely. Get on it tomorrow,
And then maybe if we could just get quotes on
Yes.
kiosks. Yeah.
on the QPS.
Yeah.
Cool,
Cool.
thank you all.
How much is
Okay.
a sign? How much are signs?
Do they provide the signs?
Park Mobile will provide you a few signs initially. But if you want anything above and beyond, and they're kind of limited too.
But that was for the lot, right? They're doing the whole city, they'll probably provide you a few for each, whatever, block.
Whatever the branding is, fonts, whales, blah, blah, blah. We should use that for the rest of our municipal parking, the parking signs coming into town, so that when someone sees that, they go, oh, parking.
Yeah.
Like they understand that that visual means parking.
They use, I noticed on that one, they used a little insignia.
Yeah, it was cute.
Their logo is a green P with a circle on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I meant they use the city insignia.
And the city, right, the city seals on there.
yeah.
I do, if anybody's interested, have the numbers
So.
of,
Not yet.
give you. Jennifer?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
All right, I assume you know.
Yeah.
Luan, did you have a question?
No, I said, what number she's talking about? Something I had numbered.
Yeah,
Is it, I didn't,
oh, this is what we collect through Park Mobile.
yeah, that's the usage that we've seen.
We're gonna put a name, not number. We're gonna put like Tom Lynn. You know, that's John Lynn. You know, Tracy Lynn.
Yeah, Tracy Lane.
This is good.
All right, I have to go now. Okay, good night all.
Good night.
Good night.
2023. Holy bananas, man.
Well, look at 2024, it's off to a good start.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. All right.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
And above it gives you the total transactions per year.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is great.
sure is.
Right on.
And I just put a little narrative down below about some of the details about the fee, the additional fee, and what it's used for currently.
Pretty cool. That's it. Thank you all.
Thanks. It's very informative.
Yeah.